Hey, I'm Jen. In life, I've learned that adversity is a stranger to no one. The way we cope is a huge indicator of our character. We want to make choices from confidence, empowerment, and trust, instead of letting our circumstances control us. Let's talk about how. This is episode Unsaid. Hello, thank you for joining me this week on another episode of the podcast. To switch things up just a little bit, I'm going to start out with my list for the week. In honor of Father's Day on Sunday, I thought I would share a few dad jokes as my list. So my husband has this dad jokes book, so that's where I'm getting these. It says the good, the bad, the terrible. On the introduction page, it says, when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. My favorites are the ones that have dad in them, such as, Dad, will you hand me my sunglasses? As soon as you hand me my dad glasses, son. Or, Dad, can you put my shoes on? I don't think they'd fit me. Anyway, here's some other ones. I tell dad jokes, but I have no kids. I'm a faux pas. It was easy for me to master Braille once I got a feel for it. And one that I thought was especially funny. What did one stoplight say to the other? Don't look, I'm changing. I hope you have a happy Father's Day and wish all the men in your life a happy Father's Day. Okay, on to name the emotion. So my first emotion is frustrated because I had a great example for this week, but I can't remember. It's that tip of the tongue feeling. But it was something along the lines of not doing something and it worked out better anyway. So there you go. My goal was to have something in this category, and that was the example that I have because I can't remember the other one. My next emotion is delighted. We decorated a neighbor's home for her birthday while they were on vacation. My neighbor was taking care of their cats, and so that's how we were able to gain access. And we put up streamers and balloons and a sign and left a basket full of goodies, and she was very surprised and delighted when she got home. I like that word, delighted, so I chose that example. And last, the emotion is sad. I heard that a girl passed away at EFY, which I think it's called FSY now. Basically just a youth program that's a week long. And it was of natural causes, but it happened at the actual event. So that was very sad to hear about. I heard about it from my mom because one of her friends, it's her granddaughter, and someone gave a church talk on Sunday who attended that FSY session and heard about it there at the event, so pretty shocking. I also looked up the categorization of emotions and how they intensify as they are untreated or depending on the situation. So while I may feel sad, the family might feel distraught or other deeper emotions because it was closer to them. Okay, so our topic for the week is unsaid, and I have some challenges for you later on in this episode, which is what prompted this topic. It's kind of interesting now at this stage in the podcast season because I'm basically out of ideas to talk about for empowerment, which there are always ideas, but out of the ones that I especially wanted to talk about. So I end up needing to research a little bit to find the content that I want to share. I'm sure you've heard the quote that says, the words of the tongue should have 3 gatekeepers. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? I love that reminder because once we've said something, it's out there in the open. You can't get it back, and it's a reflection of your character. I once heard the comparison that we're all like a jar or a cup of liquid, And when we get upset or our feathers are ruffled or even just when we speak, whatever's in our glass is what spills out. So to improve what we're speaking about, we first need to look inward to see what our character is like and what habits we may need to form or change. Maybe the way you talk or express yourself is not one of your struggles, but this could be a challenge to form any sort of new habit that you've been meaning to or wanting to. Again, I'm going to speak to it through the lens of words and speech. Winston Churchill said, "We are masters of the unsaid words, but slaves of those we let slip out." So how then do we control what we're saying? Back to those challenges that I mentioned I had for you. Number 1 is try to go 24 hours without complaining. Maybe you're a complainer. Maybe you look on the dull side of life or dwell on the negatives. So this is your chance to try not complaining and see how your life changes. Next is leave 3 rude things unsaid each day. Maybe you have a problem with insults or small little remarks or a snap at your children. Whatever it may be, leave at least 3 rude things unsaid each day. And maybe you only need to leave 1 rude thing unsaid if you don't have a problem with this or it doesn't come up very often. And number 3 is speak less and listen more. A lot of the times we could leave many things unsaid that we have to say, complain about, comment on, mention, and we really could just be a better listener to whomever we're talking to or focusing on. Now, some things need to be said, and I'm not talking about that. There are many things that we need to say that would cause a problem if we didn't say it or express. The following quote says, "Words unsaid, feelings unexpressed may have consequences unimaginable." And this goes back to naming the emotion. We need to express our feelings. It's unhealthy if we don't. And there are some things we need to say to certain people or tell people how we feel that would do more harm than good if we left them unsaid. So be the judge there, but I think you can see the difference of what I'm talking about. So that's my topic for the week. I hope you have a good one and take one of these challenges or make your own. For those of you who liked the dad jokes, I think I'll read a few more. "Dad, I'm cold. Go stand in a corner. It's 90 degrees. My neighbor is really into music. Even his driveway is hard rock. Dad, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. I'm Dad. How can you shorten a bed? Don't sleep long in it. Why can't you have a nose that is 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. Can February march? No, but April may. Why did the man ride a horse? Because it was too heavy to carry. Dad, are you going to take a bath? No, I'm leaving it where it is." Okay, that's probably enough. Thank you for indulging me. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Thank you for joining me on the podcast today. You can find me on Instagram at A is4Adversity or email me at jenbank16@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you.